Stay tuned for more exciting programs only here on INC Radio.
You are listening to Iglesianicristo Radio, the voice of truth.
Welcome to INC Radio, Hawaii Pacific. Featuring the brothers and sisters of the Ecclesiastical District of Hawaii Pacific. Mahalo for tuning in. See you soon.
Happy Friday, everybody. My name is Brother Jordan Augustine from the local congregation of Kea'au District of Hawaii Pacific. Time check, it is 10:04 p.m. here on a lovely Friday night in our district of Hawaii Pacific. And we hope you're having a wonderful evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I'm not by myself, though, of course. I'm with our very awesomely handsome brother Josh. How's it going, bro?
Good evening. I'm just kidding. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you. I'm Brother Joshua Galang, one of your hosts, as Brother Jordan said. Most handsomely, no way. That's all, Brother Jordan. I'm so happy to be here as always, hosting INC Radio, especially with you, Brother Jordan. And I'm very excited to be here, especially with our very, very special guest today. She was talking about how she was so excited. She's very nervous. She's never been on radio before. Let us introduce the very, very famous, wonderful, and cool Ate Des Asenas. How are you doing, Ate?
Aloha, ahi, Kuya Joshua, Kuya Jordan, you are right. I am probably new here on INC Radio Hawaii Pacific. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, INC Radio community. May I just say a very, very special shout out to my local of Wahiwa, and of course, the District of Hawaii Pacific. Hello po.
Yeah, and we really appreciate your time with us here at the desk, because tonight our topic is managing stressful moments. And we figured we'd have at the desk here because she is very busy, I would say, as an executive producer who produces, who's in charge of Europe and all of Europe, and who else at the desk? Well,
Faith and Melody, don't forget Brother Jordan.
the one. That's the one. And Faith and Melody. She's also a legal officer in the church, and she is also a mother of three. So, I mean, she got to have some stressful moments. I would say, but we'll talk story about that in a little bit. But before we go on, we'd like to say some special thanks. So, special thank you to our executive minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, and our SEBC coordinator, Brother Angelo Irani Manalo. And also thank you to our district staff, Jem H. Baitan and family, our assistant district minister, Ka Ador Posto and family, and our CFO overseer, Ka Brandon Pacheco, and to all of the other ministers and ministerial workers in our district. Thank you, Pope, for all of your support and for encouraging us and pushing us to do better and INC Radio and for our entire district. If you're new to tuning in to INC Radio, say you had a visitor today in our EVM and they want to tune into more church things, you can tell them to search INC Radio DZEM 954 at YouTube and click on the subscribe button so we can all be notified for new INC Radio content. But yeah, going on to our activities. Brother Josh, what we got coming up?
Yeah, we have a very, very special activity. First one, or first type of activity this year, which is our INC Giving, first INC Giving activity, I should say, of the year. And this one will be a appreciation activity. And it's going to be in a cluster there in Ewa Beach. It's going to be Ewa Beach, Maili, and Kapolei, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to be held at the Kapolei Police Station, at
Ooh,
1 p.m. So if you guys want to come down, even if you're not a part of that cluster, just come down anyway and
yes,
come and help us appreciate the police officers there in Kapolei. That is for our activity tomorrow. Now we're gonna
cool.
go on to a part or segment of our show that we really, really enjoy. Round of applause for our icebreaker tonight. And a very, very special. There you go. See, at the desk already. Speaking of which, I wanted to bring it back really, really quickly. At the desk was like, oh, I've never been on radio. And then she locks in. I don't know if you saw, there's a switch in her eyes. She instantly went into host mode for her when she started talking. You could see it. You can roll back the clip.
Okay.
But
You can mute me.
I don't know how to say
Oh,
it.
I think I have the power.
I think she does. I think she does. But we're gonna be talking about our icebreaker. Let's all join in. We're gonna be putting it inside the YouTube, as Brother Jordan says, the YouTube comment section, and we hope you also message down or comment down your answers to this icebreaker. For today's question, what is your favorite thing to do to decompress? We'll start off with Brother Jordan.
Oh, to decompress. Let's see. I like to take naps as much as I can. I'm not. I mean, I'm a light sleeper. I was gonna say I'm a sleep lighter. I'm a light sleeper. I don't. I probably only get like 5 to 6 hours average sleeping at most. I want to say. But sometimes, if I gotta perform early, I'll try to sleep early, but I'll still get probably like 4 or 5 hours. Only because I stay up and do my homework late at night. But I try my best to take naps whenever I can, or sometimes what I find kind of therapeutic is cooking. I like to cook whenever I can and when I have the ingredients, and I just feed myself. So I think that's a couple ways that I can decompress. Oh, and also going to the beach too. I enjoy going to the beach and just sitting there. It's not as sandy as Oahu beaches here on the Big Island, but it's nice to find a nice flat surface, a nice flat rock, and just chill and look at the water and dip your feet in the cold water. The water is kind of colder here than Oahu,
Mm.
but yeah, that's for me. What about you, Atides?
Oh, I want to do a lot of things too, like sleeping, eating, whatever you cook. Yeah, Jordan, hopefully. But I love to play music, listen, or play any instrument. I also would like to, spend time in the yard, gardening, getting my hands dirty, and all that. So anything to keep myself busy.
Wow. Okay. And what about you, brother Josh? What's your favorite way to decompress?
Yeah, for me, I do similar with what Ate said. I really like listening to music. My favorite artist is Brother Jordan Augustine. Uh,
Same, same.
we have the CMVs, or the Christian music videos that we filmed of Brother Jordan singing for the different
Mm.
programs in the church.
Oh,
And one of my favorite one is him singing "I Will Always Choose You" for Break Entertainment for CFO Today. If you remember that.
Oh,
oh yeah, I remember
yes.
that.
Oh, oh, that is it's in my saved messages, and I always
Mhm.
listen to it on repeat, on repeat. I remember after the show too, he was practicing songs for one of the activities that you were gonna perform at, and I was just listening to it, and I was like, man, I wish I was recording it right now.
I
But yeah, listening to music always helps. Puts you in the mood too. When you listen to different types of genres, it puts you in those moods as well.
yeah.
And yeah, when you're just stressed out, when you're overstimulated, I guess you can say, it's good to take a step back, listen to some calming music, and inadvertently you calm down as well.
Yeah, that's very true. And I forgot to say that too. Sometimes I just pick up my guitar and I just strum some things, or um, you know, just I don't even know what I'm playing sometimes. I'm just doing whatever on the guitar, or I figure out some chords to whatever song that I feel like learning for the day, and then I just sit back and just jam out to myself. It's interesting. I sound like a loner. But I do see some comments that are responding back to our what's it called? To our icebreaker. I'm gonna start from the bottom. Let's see. I saw it. Oh, from Sister Lovejoy Sibana, per her husband, Jordan Ibana, he says playing basketball. Right on.
Oh.
Cool. Ate CJ says Ate CJ Barnechea is tuning in as well. She says sample. Oh my, maybe one day. Let's see. Listening to OPM music to
Mhm.
decompress from Ka-Erds Byong from Lihue. Welcome to Hawaii
Mhm.
Pacific, Paul, and hope to see you one day. Let's see. Uh, Kuya Alfred Asenas also says, like to decompress by napping, taking family somewhere, doing home improvement projects while listening to 80s and 90s pop music. Oh, wow. Let's see.
I need to screenshot that. Is that from?
Sister Bill is on too. She says, my favorite thing to decompress is to read mangas. Oh, she read them. Not the
Oh,
fruit, but the comic, the Japanese comics. Let's see.
that's the one you read from the starting from the back, yeah, or
I believe so. Yeah.
what? Yeah, the authentic ones from the back.
Yeah. Kuya Bruce also says, I like watching sunsets to relieve stress. Wow. Yeah, I like watching sunsets too. Um, I like soothing music and lights out from Katim Pasik. And oh, this is a good one to end our discussion for the icebreaker. Dave from Dave Wilson says, the best way to decompress is in prayer. Right on. Thank you for your comments, everybody. And we hope that you tune in still yet because we're going to take a quick station break and we're going to talk a little bit more story with our very own Atides. So we'll be right back. Kuya Tek.
You are listening to Iglesia Ni Cristo Radio, the voice of truth.
The holidays are almost over. That means it's back to school soon.
I'm so excited to see my friends. I'm so excited to meet teacher. I'm so excited to go to school. Are you excited?
Join us on INCRadio Australia Satellite Studio on the 28th of January, 3 p.m. Philippine Time or 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. See you there!
And we're back, everybody. Welcome back once again to INC Radio Hawaii Pacific. That was such a cute promo. Tune into INC Radio Australia, you guys. But yeah, I'm gonna read a little bit more comments regarding our icebreaker from comic Daniel Martinez says poke at the beach, how to
Mm.
decompress. Yes. And then everybody's complimenting on Brother Jordan's basketball and volleyball skills. Yes, he is very good. Shout out to you, Brother Jordan. He's more handsome than me. I'm not a Jordan.
Mhm. But you
But-
do play basketball as well, and you play well, right?
oh, I try ball. Thank you. Thank you. I just kind of bounce around myself, not the ball. Let's see. I used to do calligraphy. This is from Atethea. Ate
Oh,
Athea
wow.
Pacheco says, I used to do calligraphy of Bible verses to relax. Used to.
Wow,
Now
that's
watching,
awesome.
not sponsored, Disney movies with my boys.
Oh.
That is a good way to decompress
Mhm.
too. And we
Right.
have a lot of tuners out from outside of our district. We have one from Camario says, "Good day here in the Philippines. Greetings from local congregation of Brixtonville, district of Caloocan North." And
Hi, Camario.
yes, hello, Paul. Thanks for tuning in. I also saw one from where was it? Great Britain, I think I saw. Oh, I have a bunch from from Cadalia de la Cruz tuning in from Bang.
Thailand. Yes.
Yes.
Sawastika.
Oh wow. I forget. I don't know where it went, but I saw someone from Great Britain. Thanks both for tuning in from all the way from the UK. And yeah, there's a lot of greetings out there. Thank you so much, everyone, for supporting us on INC Radio every Friday night. But without further ado, let's start with our first question with our very special guest. the guest Asenas.
I got
So,
goosebumps when you say that.
well, I think a lot of people know you, but I think not everybody knows what you do exactly
What
for,
I-
yeah, right? I think everybody, so we're gonna ask you this question, Poatides. What is your profession or professions?
Okay, po. Like I got scared. But I'm a lawyer in the Philippines, and right now I'm helping with the legal department. And I'm also a media practitioner. So I am an INC Radio executive producer, as you mentioned earlier, and I oversee the satellite studios of United Kingdom, Italy North, Central Europe, Northern Europe. So basically a mix of media and law.
Wow. So a very wide spread of talents you have at this.
Talents, I'm not sure, but I would consider exposure and experience. It is, and they to a certain extent they intermingle. You know, they meet at a certain point where I get to enjoy it.
Mhm. And also, fun fact, Atides was actually our very first producer for Hawaii Pacific.
Yeah.
She started Hawaii Pacific. And so, without her, we wouldn't be where we are right now today.
Oh,
So,
don't say that. Don't say that. We have to thank the church administration for
oh,
trusting
yeah, of course.
everyone from the district because just a fun fact as well for everyone. We are one of the very first satellites to launch outside of the Philippines. So we were launched together with Italy back then. They were called Southern Europe,
Mhm.
South Korea, uh, Australia. So and Hawaii Pacific, the very first satellite studios outside of the Philippines. So we really have to thank the church administration for seeing that we're able to handle that. And look at you now, how many years after, right? From 2015.
Yeah. So, we try to do our best each and every show, and we really appreciate, all our viewers because us on cam is only half of it, right? So the other
True.
half is our viewers and listeners out there. So thank you everybody for for your time with us here on INC Radio Hawaii Pacific. Time check, it is 10:20 p.m. here. 'Cause you know how we do in Hawaii Pacific. We just cruise and we watch late at night
Mhm.
things. So talk story. But Brother Josh, what we got next on our for our questions for after this?
We have a lot of questions that we want to ask Ate Des. Before we go on to that one, I wanted to ask you this, Ate. Actually, no, I'll ask you this after this question. Okay. Um, you have a lot of different things that is going on in your life that fills your schedule. Uh, you don't really think about it, but in the past that you would be in this position where you are now. um, but sometimes you aspire for that. What inspired you, what pushed you to get where you are now in your life?
I really would like to thank my father. No, so my father was a minister, and I was the youngest in my family, and they would always take me wherever. No, and I'm like his little assistant as well. I kind of shadowed him, so I get to experience and see many different places. Met many different people, and at a very young age, I really appreciate the fact that I had that kind of experience, being able to visit many places, cities, probably some of them in the provinces, and so many different lifestyles. So from then on, I would have, many questions. I was very curious. I would ask a lot of things. I would get into little activities, try things out myself. If I have a toy, I'd try to break it down, try to put it together if I can, something like that. I've always been curious what happens behind a particular item. So I would say that very early exposure, somehow gave me, in my young mind, at least a small vision of the many other things that you can discover in life.
I like that. I like that. I like how you brought up going to the different activities and seeing the different locales. You already were getting exposed to a lot of things that were regarding church, and you are a very very active church officer. You imagine an executive producer for Europe. That's a lot that you have to take care of. And I think how long have you been doing all of this, being an executive producer, being a legal officer for the church?
So being in the media, I we've been for in the media for over 20 years, I would say, if my math is correct. Yeah, 2003. We were part of the very first batch of the boot camp that was uh, established by the church administration, and we are so very blessed to be part of that. And that was in Rome back then, and we made it our commitment that wherever we are, because back then your Kuya Alfred was still in active duty, so we got to move around, so Europe, US, um, and now that we're settled here, right? So we made it our commitment to always share, to always make use of the training that we have received. And for for me, it's always, I've always been like that. So I was exposed to the needs of the church. So even when I was young, maybe like during when I was in the binhi, we were officers and we would get involved community activities as well, sponsored by the church or even by the school or the community. So for like how many years, I would say at the very earliest time that I've been working with people. Now, for specifically as an executive producer, I became an executive producer in 2016. And Hawaii Pacific was one of the satellite studios that I handled back then. And then through the years, we were rotated. So now I'm enjoying meeting people from Europe. And the fun fact is, because they're from different countries there, you'll be surprised. Even one district has 5 languages. And when we have like different brethren, not just joining the program or hosting the program, they would be speaking in their own languages. And that's another learning opportunity for me. So don't ask me though if what languages I've already known. I'm still learning. I'm still learning. But it's fun. It's fun.
That was actually going to be my next question. Seeing all these different languages, was there any that you started picking up?
Well, we kind of understand and speak Italian because we lived there for a while, and a little of
Mm,
German. But so like right now, especially when their guests are locals, meaning they're from that particular country, I try to listen in a little more intently, just so I can. That's a good experience, learning experience for me. Now, for the others, it's kind of hard though, like the Norwegian or the Dutch. Dutch is even harder than German, right? And then Spanish. There's a Portuguese. There's just so many, and my English is barely there. So it's like, wait a minute. Let me practice more English for now.
wow. And yeah, that takes a lot of dedication and patience, especially to learn multiple languages. But Brother Jordan, what is this next and final question that we're going to be asking after this?
Yes, before we go on to that, I'd like to say some comments that are on. Everybody's complimenting Kashan because he is a very awesome guy. He's a very
Hi,
awesome
Kashan.
minister. Yes, hello Kashan. He is also our DMM advisor for our district. So shout out to Kashan. Shout out to I see Ka Joe commenting as well. Ka Oliver is on, and also Ka J Rich. So shout out to all of our ministers and ministerial workers in our district. Thanks for always tuning in to INC Radio Hawaii Pacific. We got some funny comments in there. Well, anyway, our last question for Atides is: with all that you do, Bo, how do you keep yourself cool, calm, and collected?
That's a very hard question to answer because let's face it, we're human beings, right? And for us, the natural tendency is the physical reaction. So like, when you're hurt, you scream, right? Or you cry, probably you say things, right? But I would just really credit the training that has been continuously given to us by the church administration, not just and through the meetings that we have, through the instructions given to us in the worship service and in the Christian Family Organization meetings, and even in meetings for us, IANS radio staff, legal staff. And that's the kind of message that I try to practice. So when something happens, you try to just step back, no? Step back, it can be a physical thing that you do, like literally you step back.
Right.
So that already that you're already making a change or shift in your position.
Mm.
So that alone changes your perspective of things. So at when you feel like you're gonna it's getting intense, right? So step back physically, step back a little. And then the figurative meaning of step back, like, okay, let me cool, chill. Let's see, let's assess, let's look at the big picture. Because almost always we tend to look at what's happening or what's right in front of us, and we're reacting to just what's happening to us. Now, having been given responsibilities and the trust that's been given to us by the church administration, that's something that I always cherish and take to heart. So I really try, and I pray that I practice that. Try to remove emotions from the situation. You're free to react, but you don't have to react the usual way that we usually react,
Right.
especially when we're dealing with brethren.
Mhm.
So we have to consider that there's always somebody aside from you who's in that situation. So I always remind myself that if you're feeling this, if you feel like you're being affected by this, if this is affecting you, there's also another person that's being affected by this, and probably even worse. So there's somebody probably having it worse than you,
Mm.
and you're still there. So keep still, remove yourself from the situation for now, take a break, walk away for a little bit, then come back. Then that gives me at least like, even for a minute, oh, just a second, split second, just breathe, like, okay, what was that again? It's like, just step back physically. It can change a big deal for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Sometimes we just need a little break, right? You just need to step away for a bit to see the bigger picture and then finally execute what you need to do, right? Yeah, and that's a great way to end our show for today. And we'd like to say thank you again at the desk for being with us tonight and sharing your wisdom, sharing your time. Do you have any last greetings or shout outs at the desk?
I would just like to thank everybody on INC Radio Hawaii Pacific, the entire district of Hawaii Pacific. Kashan Adam, of course, very special shout out to you. And of course, our resident minister and CFO overseer, Brother Brandon Pacheco. And of course, the entire Asenas Ohana supporting right now. Hopefully, they're not asleep yet. And please do support, if I may just also invite everybody to watch Faith and Melody. It's a
Yes.
station produced program by INC Radio. It airs Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. Hawaii time. So if you want to hear more about talks concerning our faith as members of the Church of Christ, and we also play original Iglesianicristo music, where you can see Brother Jordan, please do tune in. And that's it for me. Thank you very much. Such an honor.
Thank you so much, Bate Des. But Josh, you want to close out the show?
Yes, thank you again, Atides, for joining us. Not only do we want to say thank you to you, we have special thanks to these very special people who, as she said, allows us to have programs like these. Special thanks to our executive minister, Brother Eduardo Vimanalo, along with our CFO coordinator and SEBSI president, Brother Angelo Eranio Manalo, to our district minister, Brother Jem H. Baitan, our assistant district minister, Brother Adora Apostol, our CFO overseer, Brother Brandon Pacheco, along with all of the ministers, ministerial workers, and their families as well. A big shout out to all of you, po. And thank you again for tuning in to INC Radio Hawaii Pacific. We're so glad that you're still here with us, even though it is late in the evening. We will see you again next week. Up next is INC Radio Bicol region. So keep on watching. Don't click away because you do not want to miss a single second. Thank you for tuning in to INC Radio Hawaii Pacific. We will see you again later. Aloha!
Aloha, everybody.
Aloha, mahalo.